My name is Sara, and even though I proudly say that I'm from La Rioja, which I already told you about in the presentation probably by now, I've lived my whole life in Madrid, and I've lived in this neighborhood which is called Chamberí, and it's near the city center since I was 6 years old. This is one of the main parks, one of the main squares in this neighborhood, which is called Olavide. And since I was a kid, I used to play here with my friends from school, and I think it's a very nice park. It's not that big, but there are a lot of bars around and a lot of terraces where parents are usually drinking while the kids are out here playing. And it has many trees and many different things for the kids to play with, as you can see. And I always like this fountain. I remember when I was a kid, we used to play a lot with like water guns, and a lot of people got thrown in this fountain, which the water is a bit dirty, so it was a bit nasty when you fell in this fountain. So I just wanted to show you a piece of what my childhood felt like here in Madrid. So to start this route through different parts of Spain, I thought the best way to start was with the primary school that I went to. As you can hear the kids in the background, they're now during the break. So this school is called Rufino Blanco, and my grandmother, who was also from Madrid, she went to this primary school as well. When it used to be a boys and girls school, and it was separated by gender. When I went to this school, it wasn't separated by gender, and it was quite a different school. It was very progressive, and they made me who I am in many senses. The teachers here were really nice and were really special, and they were the ones to teach me English, which is one of the things I'm going to help you with during my course. So I just wanted to start here showing a bit of like what my childhood was like here in Spain in this school. And you can see the castle behind. It has been repainted many times. When I went to school, it used to be like a submarine, and now it's like a medieval castle of some sort. So it is where I learned the basic things, and this is where I also started to be passionate for literature and English as well. So it's a very special place for me. This is the royal palace. Although it may not look like it, it is the biggest palace in all of Europe, and it's where the royal family of Spain resides. As you may know, Spain is a monarchy, so this is the place where they are. There are also the gardens of Sabatini, which are really famous as well, and you can walk through them. The royal palace you can visit. There's a line around there that you can see, and we're still next to the Cathedral of Almudena, which is next to the royal palace. And in front of the royal palace, we have the theater, the opera, the National Opera. As a fun fact, I did a course on opera and its inner workings that was based on Rigoletto, Verdi's Rigoletto. And I've seen many opera because as a public help for young people, the tickets, if you're young for the opera, are really cheap, the last minute tickets. So I've seen many operas, and I think it's a fantastic experience. And if you're young and if you're in Madrid, I think you should definitely go to see an opera here in the theater. So now we're in the city center of Madrid, and this is near the Almudena Church, which you can see there. And a lot of tourists come here because you can get a really nice view of Madrid, and you can see some of the mountains around there. As a fun fact about Spain, it is the second country with the most mountains in Europe, the first one being Switzerland. You don't think of mountains when you think of Spain usually, so it's a fact that I think kind of changes your mind around the landscapes of Spain. And now I'm going to show you other places that I really love around the city center of my city, which is Madrid. So right now we are in Sol, which is one of the most famous places in Madrid, and it's the kilometer zero. It's where the city starts. You also have this sign, which is Tío Pepe, which is one of the most famous signs next to the Schweppes sign. Then around there you can walk through there, and you can reach the Cibeles Fountain and also the Retiro Park, which I also showed you. So this is the main square of the city center of Madrid. And here during New Year's, a lot of people come here, and we have this tradition which where the bell rings, and which with each sound you need to have one grape. So there's 12 grapes for 12 months of the year. So you will have luck every month of the year, and it's a tradition that we always do. And the biggest concentration of people is right here in Spain. Hi, so this is my hometown. It's where both my grandparents are from, and it's also where my mom grew up and the village she was raised in. Due to a lot of immigration, most of people who are born in Madrid, like myself, either our grandparents or our parents are from a rural area, like in the 1950s. Almost more than the 50% of the population in Spain were from rural areas. So this is the village, this is the main church, and it's called Murillo de Río Leza, which literally means the little wall from the river Leza, which is one of the main rivers that I'm gonna show you now. So this is a famous river Leza, which is mentioned in the village name. There used to be a lot more water, but due to climate change and global warming, there has been less and less water each year. Although this year there's more water than last year. Park in Murillo, and it's where you can see the river, but there's a lot of like foliage, so you can't really see it. But there's a place which is like deep enough for people to go in and to swim and all of that in the river Leza. As you can see here, they're preparing for the festival that is gonna happen on Saturday, which is called El Río Suena, which literally means the river sounds. And basically they bring like different like tribute bands from around the country, and it's a really nice festival, and it brings a lot of like attraction for the village and for its economy. This is the church, and it's one of the most beautiful places in the village. Spain is a really Catholic country, and churches are really important. They always say that in every Spanish village there has to be a bar and a church. So there are a lot of bars, and you can see here the church. So this is the square. Each village has a main square, and this is Murillo's main square. And when it's the regional festivities, they usually put, you can see there a stage, and it's also a place where you can play a really famous sport in the north of Spain, which is called la pelota, which means the ball. And it's basically with your hand, you have a really hard ball and you like hit it against the wall. And the players of this game are called pelotari, and it's really especially famous in the Basque Country, but we're really close to them. So, and this is the restaurant of the square, which is the biggest restaurant of the village. So this is in my family what we call La Casa Vieja, which is the old house, and it's the house where my mother grew up in, and then we moved to another which was in a better condition. But my mom's childhood, she lived here during all her like formative years, and we used to come here sometimes during the summer, because in this main street there used to be vaquillas, which is like little cows, and it's basically similar to like bullfighting, but it's just like people running from the bulls, like the famous San Fermin. This park was renamed a few years ago, the Park of the Women's Park, in honor of all the women that helped build Murillo and all of its culture and all that the village represents. I'm here next to Ponferrada, and I'm here for the music festival, rock music festival, where my uncle's band is from. And I wanted to show you a bit of the north of Spain. As you can see, this is like a river beach, and this is the mountain. And as you could tell, the love for rock music runs in my family, and I love the arts, every type of arts. So I just wanted to show you a bit of the landscape that we're having right now in the festival during a really bad heat wave here in Spain. Hi, we're here in Bilbao. We came here for the music festival, which is BBK, and we are now in Guggenheim, which is one of the most famous places in all of Bilbao. And one of its most famous sculptures is the spider. It's a city well known for its gastronomy, its food, and its really cultural and lively ambience all around the city. And as you can see, this is like the Maritime Walk, where you can see like the river Nervión. And as you can see, this is like a very mountainous region, like the Basque Country. So you can see how the city is kind of built like upwards up there. And actually the festival was up in the mountains, which was hard to get to, but it was a really beautiful view. The Basque Country is also known for being really autonomous and having its own language, which origin is unknown. So you can see here the mountains and the river. It's a very beautiful landscape. And well, to show you a word in Euskera, agur means adios, which is goodbye. To finish the video, I'm finishing with Madrid as well. And I'm finishing in another really iconic spot of the Madrid city center. Callao, and you can see these cinemas, which are really, really old, and they are one of the oldest cinemas in Spain, and also a really iconic building, which is also publicity, the same as Tio Pepe, which is Schweppes. It's a very, very, very famous building, and it appears in a lot of famous and iconic Spanish movies, which I'll tell you about also in the presentation. And also to end the video, I wanted to show you the Spanish booth, which usually have wine, or in La Rioja you have capote, and you basically drink from here, doing like this. And so this has been my tour from Madrid to other places in Spain, and I hope you enjoyed it.